Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of From Ore to Orbit. I'm Kyle, and that's Shane.
Hey y'all.
We're doing video games things. Things are happening. Okay.
Yeah, so I have not seen your steel production plan yet, and I will be happy to see it very soon. I just have to get my next phase of the science expansion up and running, and then I will.
Yeah, dude, don't even fucking worry about it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I realized the issue I was running into was that the belts weren't moving fast enough. So I went over and I built a bunch of faster belts.
Faster belts, that sounds pretty great.
It is pretty great, if I'm being all truthful. But now it's just taking time. I have to replace literally all the belts on the way through this with steel, or with the faster belts, and it takes fucking forever because you have to build like gear wheels. Oh, I guess I could just go steal gear wheels if I wanted to be actually quicker, but that makes too much sense, doesn't it?
Why would you ever want to do that?
When I could just do this. Haha.
Like a windstorm going on here, which apparently is Alberta's new thing. I don't know if you knew this, Kyle, but
yeah, apparently that's the thing you guys do.
Yeah, it's like we're all about having just like 100-kilometer-an-hour winds all the time now. So
and garbagey windness, yeah. Sounds like a bad time.
That's not a great time. Okay, science expansion is up and running for now. I'll add more to that later, but what the heck have you been up to? And how can I fuck it up? Let's find out. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. Steel furnace. Oh, I see. Oh, they're giving... Interesting. So you're still using...
I didn't realize I still need coal. There's eventually a point when we won't, but we're not there yet.
I see. So the coal's actually being used as a fuel. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's always been the case, though.
What's that?
That has always been the case.
Yeah, no, I know that's always been the case, but I thought that you'd be using it as a component for the iron. Or sorry, for the steel.
No. So the way... Oh, so sorry. This is actually not steel being produced over here. Sorry, this is just steel furnaces. I'll show you where the steel is actually being produced.
Where are
It's over here. The problem I'm running into is the bottleneck. I'm over... Dude, you can totally find me over here. It's super easy.
I don't look here. Been right in. Hi.
Yeah. So this is where the steel is being produced, over at this place. But you can see we don't have enough iron. So make it.
Oh.
We did,
Wow.
but now we don't. I'm gonna go steal some of these gear wheels. It's gonna save me so much time.
Alright.
Yeah. So pretty much what I'm doing right now is just replacing all this garbage
Gotcha.
with my own garbage.
Perfect. So these are new furnaces that are more efficient, yeah?
Yeah.
So these are, let's see, steel furnace. So what have we got down here? And so we're not thinking about, oh no, I see, okay. I see I'm picking up what you're putting down now. I'm getting it.
Yep. Getting it. Hashtag getting it. Wait, where am
I think we're pretty much at this point. One of these lines has become redundant. In fact, I'm sure that one of these lines has become redundant because we're not doing just pure red research anymore, and that's where this is going. I'm going to take down some stuff to save us some steel.
Do it, dude. Well, I'm pretty sure that those aren't. That's like backed up anyway, so it's not actually costing us. But I just hadn't dealt with it yet.
Oh, pretty. Oh, pretty.
But that's no big deal.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, love. This
Aw.
is one of the good things I was talking to you about.
Thanks, Katie.
It was delicious.
I didn't actually have any part in that, I'm gonna be honest. In case she was unaware. I did nothing!
Well, there's nobody actually here. My dog thinks that you just yelled at me.
Well, oh, because I forgot you don't have headphones on. That joke wasn't nearly as funny if people can actually hear it. Well, this is a fine pickle.
It's okay, most people didn't hear you.
I hear everything.
Yeah, dude, our entire audience heard me. What are you talking about? Both of those people. Self-burn. Oh, okay. Oh, this is where I can kick your wheels from. Yeah.
It's true.
They just get fed to me.
Do you ever get the technology to make longer tunnels? Like, longer underground?
No, you can't, unfortunately. I don't think. I should say. I'm not actually 100% certain. But I'm pretty sure that's a big no.
I'm confused. Let's see.
Wait, what the fuck have I done? Okay. I do also, I forgot, need to make faster splitters, otherwise it doesn't split them fast enough.
Do you think that they're like actually? Do you think that's a bottleneck though?
It feels like it. Because the issue seems to be that, like, literally not all of our furnaces are even making things because the line's backed up over here, but then it's not once we get over there because we're making too much. So I feel like if everything moves faster, it shouldn't be as much of an issue. I feel like, but I'm not 100% certain.
That's fair. Well, I mean, if we make everything faster, then I don't think that can be a bad thing for sure. We need more cogs. Let's build more cogs.
Yeah, because like, we shouldn't be backed up over here and then like running into issues on the other end. One thing we could do like right now, just see as a test if this will help at all.
Sorry, what's up?
There we go. That should actually help a little bit. Oh, so I need more circuits. Okay, I need to go steal some electronic circuits. That's probably fine.
We have lots of circuits.
Hell
Take
yeah,
as
we
many
do.
as you need. I've been pumping up our production because science.
Science, bitch. Yeah, I know what you mean. Let's do these wheels again. We're gonna be not making enough stone again. Stone. Well, at least everything's being made at full speed again.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
That's for the
Let's
best.
see. Let's use more cogs. All right.
Okay, put away.
How's our iron bottleneck going? You got all fixed up, Kyle?
Am I all fixed? Getting there.
Yeah.
Okay. So. feel like this. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
I didn't finish my sentence. That's why. You were supposed to finish my sandwich there, Shane.
That's what I was gonna say, Kyle.
Yeah. Okay, we're also not backed up on the drills anymore. Oh, that's our actual issue. Okay, I just need to make more. I just need to put down more drills. That's easy. Dude, support is so easy. That's a meme. That's a League of Legends meme, not a real meme.
Gotcha.
Started advanced electronics. What? How advanced are we?
Well, we were on our way to like launching our rocket into space, so I figured we better have some computers that can like do that.
Yeah, you do know like we're not even close yet, though, right?
Dude, we have streetlights. We're basically there.
Yeah, those are the same thing. Alright, we are totally rocking this right now. What the fuck did I do? Oh, you did this, that's why. You do know that this is not moving, right? That this is broken over here? Is that on purpose?
Is that what, sorry?
This line's got nothing, it's not actually attached to anything.
I know,
Here.
yeah, that is on purpose.
Just making sure. Railway, woo!
Excited?
Kind of.
And yeah, this is just a temporary line until we find a better place for it to use this iron. I just see that we could be using some more cogs, so by cogs I do mean thingies.
Oh, of course, that really knows.
You know what's up.
Thingies. Now I understand.
Now.
Alright, so I gotta run back and put a little power in the old miner.
There we go, that's better.
I really wish the stone wasn't so far away.
Which?
The stone. There we go.
That's gonna be fine though when we get a choo-choo system, yeah?
When we get a what, sorry?
A choo-choo system.
T system? Oh, a choo-choo system. Yeah.
What'd you think I was saying, man?
I
What else?
literally had no idea what you were trying to say. By the way, we're getting pretty close. Oh, wow. The fact that we haven't hit smog on either of those areas is really impressive to me.
Hmm.
Something about checking accounts and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Choo-choos. We're good. Alright. So... Advanced material processing, which will give us the electric furnace. Okay, well that's pretty crazy. That's when we really start saving things.
Yeah.
Although we'll need to be able to build red circuits. Ugh. Which takes plastic. Okay, so that's something we'd love to have the research to do. We're not going to be able to like actually do that for a while because we need to start doing oil at that point.
Gotcha.
Okay. And I need to go get some more of this goddamn shit.
At a time when I was shit broke and should not have been flying anywhere. And not only did I fly someplace when I was broke, I spent like $600 on a flight and went to
Alright, so we got these sweet fast transporter belts.
Oh. I need to put more of that.
Alright.
Like, it was such a great life. But damn it, I saw a priorist thing.
Why are we still having problems making enough? Jesus. I thought I upped the production of this so high. Maybe this is where I should be putting the belts first.
They're like $5,000 when you drive. My dad told me that in the grand scheme of things, there are $1,000 mistakes and $5,000 mistakes when you lose the car. And that I needed to be an adult, suck it up, make money, and learn from it. Even though take care of my stuff.
Yeah, fuck it, that makes sense. Alright. So what are you working on right now, Shane?
Right now, it looks like we're having a dearth of red research, so I am building a new line with some red research.
Baller.
Let's see. So what if we do? I don't have to do that. Actually. See if I can make this work. So, yeah.
One of the first things I did was buy a nice car because I've been driving terrible meters all my life. And salary, I could finally afford a monthly payment for a really good one. I did not realize how much cars depreciate the second you drive off the lot, or how much a burden that
Did you realize how much cars depreciate the second you drive off the lot, Shane?
I had no idea until I heard this podcast thing.
Is it a podcast? Is that what?
It's I think it might be a YouTube thing.
I mean, they do depreciate quite a bit when cars do drive off the lot, to be fair.
You just pick up my thing.
Oh, I didn't realize that was an active thing you were using. I just
Come
looked
on.
like an old thing, I'm sorry.
Unbelievable.
I don't know, man. It's hard to tell sometimes, okay? The shit'll looks the same.
Yeah.
$480, damn. Also, I love how we've gotten to the point now where it's like we've done so many episodes. It's like we're just like listening to like Katie's podcast or YouTube channel and just like commenting on that, like, oh, that's a number I wasn't expecting.
No, we're doing it's fine.
Yeah. Why does it take so much fucking iron to do everything?
That is the question.
This fucking game.
Yeah, but we're still playing, so I mean...
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. It's hard to argue with that logic.
Right, let's do that. Oh, do that. Wait. My brain's starting to melt down. Okay.
Yeah, me too. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody, too. Yeah, just we kind of have to cram in all these episodes at the same time because Shane doesn't have all that much free time, like as a human. So we kind of have to just like use it where we can. Like we were like, oh, it's gonna be so great. We're gonna make like this backlog of episodes, and we're always gonna have like a bunch in the works. And then this one, yeah, we were like, oh man, this is great. We're like a month ahead. And then we were like, I was like, Shane, we really have to get this done again because it's been a month and we haven't recorded any. I was like, oh fuck, yeah, I guess we do.
Tis true.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, so how am I gonna do that?
Yeah.
Wait, can I do that? I can do that, right? Sure, I can totally do that.
You can totally do that, dude. On a scale of 1. Here's the other thing I was thinking about having them be faster. You can run like super fast along them now.
That's pretty great.
Whee! Yeah. It's pretty nice.
Okay, this, and that, and then we're gonna do. Man, I'm building all of the innovative structures here. They're not really all that innovative, but they.
How innovative are your structures on a scale of structure to structure?
They're a 3-point structure.
Dope. Let's go take a look at what you've been doing, actually.
I'm just trying to like make it work with the space we have. Because we
Maybe
need
more
more
red
red.
science?
Yeah. So. I'm working on.
I think maybe it's just that we have way too many science things.
That's why we need more.
I think that might be our issue, if I were
No.
to take a guess.
Not that we have too much research, it's that we don't have enough things to fund the research. It's perpetual
Right.
scientist dilemma. It's fine.
You're right, I'm being stupid.
Well, I didn't say stupid. Maybe
I know.
overrated a little bit, though.
Come on,
Okay.
man.
Unlike me, I think the perfectly reasonable one here with the number of science things I'm building. So,
Yeah. Oh, my fucking back.
are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. I had a Ryan moment. Don't worry, though. I'm like Ryan. I'm getting a massage in the morning. Oh, the afternoon, but tomorrow. It's happening tomorrow.
Great.
Because apparently I'm not a mammal. Oh, this is something else we can talk about now that we've been gone an episode and a half without saying anything interesting. Have you ever been in a situation where someone will just like say like the dumbest shit on Facebook and you're like, normally I'll just ignore that stuff, but have you ever been like, you know what? Let's talk to them.
I have done that. I did that actually not too long ago, and I got blocked by a family member.
Oh, dude, I got blocked, I wasn't friends with the guy. He was somebody Alex was Facebook friends with, but it was literally like the dumbest shit I'd ever heard, and I eventually got to the point where he deleted the entire thread because it had been on like his own original comment, and I guess you could just delete an entire thread if you made the first comment. Did you know that? Because I fucking didn't.
So your hard work went to waste.
Oh no, it didn't go to waste. Let me fucking tell you, Shane. So here was the thing that I thought was weird. Okay, so this is somebody who was arguing. I'm not somebody who thinks that that we need to do like the Bernie Sanders minimum wage thing, it's like $15 a month or whatever. Like I'm like, you know what? Maybe that's like a little bit kind of dumb. People probably don't like the whole economy wouldn't be able to sustain that.
$15 a month, dude. I couldn't live on
Hour.
$15 a month.
$15 an hour minimum wage.
I knew what you were talking about. I was just being dumb. Anyways.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sorry, I wasn't sure if I'd said it wrong because it's been too long. So, my argument was like, yeah, that's true, but I think we should be in a situation where you should be able to afford the cost of living without having to work more than 40 hours a week. Everybody should be able to do that, I thought. So off the bat, this guy thought what I said was stupid because he's like, well, it doesn't cost you that, like, you can live off that for minimum wage with no problem. And I'm like, yeah, I can, but some people have a higher cost of living. Like, you know, if you have kids, or if you have debt, or if you have, you know, any number of things that can increase the cost of living. Like, it's really easy and cheap for me to live, but that's not the case for everybody. Like, I'm pretty lucky. And this guy's like, well, he's in the military. He was like, well, everybody could just join the military. And I'm like, one, that's dumb as fuck, because what if people don't want to join the military? And two, oh my god, I just realized the problem we have. We need fast inserters. On the fast track, it's too fast for the arms to grab. Look at this. Look at this up here. They're like,
They keep missing.
Try this. Okay, that'll work. I didn't think this was going to be a thing.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I did not realize this was going to be a thing. Come on, man. How did that happen? This is some shenanigans right here. Fuck, I forgot where I was with that discussion. So yeah, like basically, he tried to argue like one, it's better for everybody, which was stupid, but like whatever. Two, he tried to also argue, oh, you don't have to pick those up. You can just put the new ones down over the old ones, Shane.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. We should build some more then.
Yeah. Because oh, those are backwards.
I am really good at this game.
Yeah, I can tell. Esports, as Ryan would say. No, I'm just being a dick.
Esports. Oh, that's A+ stuff there.
Yeah, Ryan does love saying esports. Nice. More research. Automated rail transportation? Nope. Concrete? Hell yeah. So, he tried to argue that the cost of living is... or he tried to argue that in the military, you make less than minimum wage when you start as a private, which is completely untrue because that's, illegal. But I kind of decided to shy away from that for a moment, right? And I said, well, if that's true, I'm certain that you have a lower cost of living because, you can live in the shacks, which cost less than housing does. You have a meal plan, which you can live on, which costs less than groceries. And every time I tried to catch the guy on the points that he was lying about, he always tried to lie more about them. So, oh, I see what the issue over here is. We need more of those fast inserters. So, for example, he's not still a private or anything. The dude's been around for a while, I guess. So, I would say things like, I was like, well, okay, well, how much does it cost to live in the shacks for a month? And his response would be things like, I currently pay this much money a month. I said, okay, I don't give a fuck what you pay now. I asked you how much you paid before. Because what you pay now doesn't matter. You make more than minimum wage, so you can afford it. That's completely irrelevant. And just things like that. And eventually it got to the point where he I couldn't make him empathize. He tried to act like he was winning arguments. Every time he tried to say something, I tried to make him empathize with things like, yeah, but understand that it costs, it's, life's kind of harder for some people than others. Because his argument was that everybody who couldn't afford stuff was lazy and entitled. And I was like, no, sometimes life just kind of is hard. And it's not that hard to empathize with people when you're in a better situation. And after he couldn't empathize, well, he would try to say things like, oh, he tried to argue that privilege wasn't a thing. Just flat out any kind of privilege, as in, life isn't easier for certain people than it is for other people. I'm not even talking about race or gender or anything. Just in general, there are people who have an easier time at life than others. That's just an undeniable fact, right?
I agree with that. I think that's a pretty, yeah.
And I was like maybe have a little bit of empathy for other people because it's really easy to say that as somebody who came from a relatively easy life, which I can say unironically because I had the same thing, right? I grew up with parents who loved me, who were decently well off, decently smart, able-bodied, things like that are all I consider part of a privileged life. And he argued that none of that, all of that was things that he had done on his own, which that's such a shitty way to view things. You're always responsible for all of your own successes, but you're not, you're able to deflect the blame for any of your shortcomings. I think it's kind of a little bit of a cop-out. But in the end, when I couldn't make him empathize and be like, well, would you not be in this situation? What would you have done if you, had knocked a girl up when you were 18, you had a little bit of debt and things weren't always as easy? and he couldn't empathize. So I told him that he was either like incredibly low on intelligence, or a sociopath, or had some form of autism, which he was not a fan of. Well, because like those were the only. If you can't empathize, you have one of those three things.
He told the guy he might have autism.
Yeah, he didn't like that. He did not like that very much. Well, I didn't actually say you might have autism. I said you're either a sociopath or you have the other thing, and then he like kept on telling me I was an idiot and like that he had like completely owned me in the debate, which was not even a debate. It was a discussion, and then I hit him back with that not Neil Patrick Harris, Neil deGrasse Tyson meme that was like we're reaching autism levels that shouldn't even be possible, and then he got really offended. And I was like, I've done my job today. Good things happened here.
I think it's interesting though, because one of the things I've seen. Are you okay?
Oh, am I fine? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no. No, I had to check on the house here, and the people in the house, like my wife.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
not just computer people exist.
It's
You're a
true.
real person.
I'm a human.
You're a talking head.
She says you're a talking head.
Am I? Well, that's fair. So that's it for the episode. Unless you have something else you want to say, like for the thing. Obviously, we can go like.
Yeah, I was just gonna quickly say that I think that in a lot of those situations, especially now, it seems more than ever, but maybe it's always been this way. But people are willing to bend what either anecdotal things or just the facts to kind of suit their narrative, to suit whatever they're trying to say.
Yeah.
Or in some cases, they just believe it with no backup facts, and I have no respect for arguments that are based on nothing.
Yeah,
so,
and I have no problem with like if you make a mistake and admit that you made the mistake, it happens. I'm certain there are things I still believe that I just thought when I was a kid that are like dumb. I've had those discussions with Ryan before. I'm like, oh, because of this, and he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not how the world is. I'm like, oh yeah, it is because of. Oh, you're right. I just have thought this for years and never re-examined it. Like, there's no shame in that. That's a thing that happens to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, I suppose we can let this one go on like a little bit longer if we want to, just to kind of, because I feel like we finally made some progress in this discussion, and I'm kind of enjoying it. And since we're not doing another episode after this, I'd like to make sure we're off at a point that I like, or that it's not just me, but you know what I mean. Fuck yeah, finished concrete. Laser, or not electric engine. Whoops, laser. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't respect that style of debate. And that was, where was it with the came in? So I didn't even, like, one, I think that saying everybody should just join the military is stupid. Because, you know what? One, not everybody can do that. Two, that's not a career. That's a lifestyle. You're not committing to picking up a
I totally
paycheck.
agree with that, and like just from like a completely practical perspective, if everyone wanted to join the military, there's only so many positions, especially in the Canadian military. So like it's not that like there's any particular silver bullet to people who don't have a job, right? I mean, you can't just say go and do this and you'll make money, because there aren't necessarily jobs that people are qualified for that will allow them to do that, even minimum wage jobs. So, anyways,
right. So the fuck was I? Move the pipe out there, I guess. Yeah, so there we go. So eventually, like, yeah, like that was his argument. And then, like, when I was like, there were certain things that I didn't have the stats for in front of me, but I felt like weren't entirely necessary. So, like, when he would say things like he was trying to say that I was completely incorrect in all of my statements, I didn't have the stats on me to nail him on them, but I am 100% certain that a statement like it costs more to live, like the cost of living is higher in the military and you make less than minimum wage is incorrect. I know that that is incorrect because it's physically impossible. You would be dead otherwise, and also nobody would do it. Outside of like the crazies with pride, but like you would just be dead. Like there's no.
well, I mean, so yeah, so I was very interested in joining the military at one point. It might still be in the cards one day in the future, but the.
Hang on, real quick. How come you split the line back behind the hub? Because that ends up kind of fucking us a little bit on iron. If you're gonna split it, you kind of have to split it after the hub.
No, it doesn't. Just silly.
Yeah,
no, basically, it was already split before.
Did I just split it to because it's like I might have made a splitter like I did up here in order to just make it feed into both sides.
Right, but this used to split and go down. I just swapped it out.
Oh, okay. I only did that before because it was like small, but I think I'm gonna actually take this one out just because I feel like we're never ever gonna catch up on this bottleneck otherwise.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
I'm way ahead of you here.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, split and went down because I was like doing like small things. I was like, yeah, this is never going to be a problem. and that was in fact, if I believe before I made the thing. Yeah, like I thought it was like I don't like it when people are completely disingenuous in that way. Like if you feel like your argument is strong enough to stand on its own, you shouldn't have to lie to people to make it, right?
I agree.
Yeah, and then obviously we got into the part where like it turned into like, well, your fucking liberal point of view. If people don't agree with you, then they're obviously the enemy and Hitler. And I'm like, one, you're putting words in my mouth. That was another thing he did all the time. Was he would try to make he made a bunch of straw man arguments. Like he was like, as long as you have food and shelter, that's anything else is just extra. And I'm like, well, the cost of living is a little bit higher than that. If you want to maintain a job, you need to have a cell phone. Like that's just a thing. You are sacrificing potential hours if you don't.
Yeah, you probably
need some form of transportation. Yeah, a lot of jobs need the internet. But he's like, yeah, but not everybody needs, like when I said cell phone, he's like, yeah, not everyone needs a smartphone though. And I was like, cool. I don't think I ever said everyone needs a smartphone, but you still need to have a phone plan, so your statement was still stupid. And then like I called it a straw man argument, which I guess was a word that confused him because later he tried to tell me that, he's like, what's the word you used earlier? Straw man. And I'm like, yeah, that was the word I used earlier. I don't remember what the situation was now, and I can't go back and look it up, unfortunately. I was like, that was the word I used earlier. Too bad it has literally nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. Because it wasn't even like something that he could even make the argument was a straw man. Like I wasn't like restating his opinion or anything. I was, or even like responding to one of his opinions. I think it was just like I had said like an objective fact.
Come on, man, stop with those straw man. Stop with attacking him by using your facts.
Yeah. I was virtue signaling there, like super hard, you know.
I do very much appreciate the new words that have been introduced to my vocabulary over the past, like, I'm gonna say probably year and a half to 2 years, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Everything from virtue signaling to, the whole fake news thing to.
Oh, fake news is my favorite.
Oh yeah, to the alt-rights and just all of the new vocabulary, because it's most of these words, most of these phrases that we're using that are new like that, they seem to be very narrowly focused on just basically finding a way to divide people into teams.
He won't divide us.
And I don't even know. He may not divide us, but 4chan will, and that's fine because I think it's hilarious. But
that's pretty great. Yeah. I really hated too the argument that like. One, I hate it when people just assume that because I have certain viewpoints that I share all of the same viewpoints as other people. Like, I'm pretty liberal in my thought process. I think that the extremists on the left are arguably worse than the extremists on the right. They say a lot of dumb shit.
Oh, yeah, no,
But I always get thrown in with them because I have more liberal views than a lot of people do.
I think part of the issue, though, is that, it's exactly that. It's that you have people who for whatever reason don't want to break it down into more nuance than left and right. It's basically like you believe that everyone who works 40 hours a week should have a standard of living that is reasonable, and therefore you also believe that I don't know, that people should be called by whatever gender they identify as or whatever. I'm not saying whether that's a good or a bad thing, or whether you believe it or not, but they automatically lump you in with those people regardless of whether you're actually there. And I think that that's really hilarious because for myself, I consider myself to be somewhere in the center. I think socially I probably lean left because I don't really care. Like if you want to marry your chair, it does not affect me in any way at all. There's really no tax benefits to doing it in Canada anyway. So marry whatever you want. I don't care. But on the other hand, I also think that, I hate interest payments on my own personal debt. And so the concept of us paying $1 billion a year in interest payments to someone else because we weren't able to keep our pocketbooks in check as a country, that kind of bothers me a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I also find it really hilarious when people just assume that, like, if you're gonna like narrow it down to a certain level, you have to at the very least like admit like it's not just left and right. There's also authoritarian and libertarian, right?
Oh no, man, that's way too complex. What are you getting at?
Like my fiance is very liberal, which in general are people who tend to be very, very she's very liberal, so she's like she also you would assume to be pretty libertarian. She is about as authoritarian as anybody I've ever met. Like, not okay with marijuana. But
yeah, well, And it's funny because if you're like a crazy liberal lefty, technically speaking, shouldn't you be all for marijuana, all for
Yeah.
like legal
Oh, it's
drugs?
almost like she has like her own thoughts and opinions about things or something.
Yeah, it's
crazy
crazy.
like that. Yeah.
Almost like when she signed up to having thoughts, she didn't just choose like the one of two options, right? There was a variety of things that she can choose to do or
something
not.
crazy like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's insane. And I think like that is the most concerning thing for me right now about kind of where we're going, you know, as a country, but also as like Western civilization in general. It's like we can't, to the extreme left, we can't say certain things or think certain things because they're wrong. To the extreme right, we have to get rid of some awful influences in our society because they're wrecking what it means to be Western, to be Canadian, to be American, to be whatever. So you have people who are just like violent in their beliefs, whether it's on the left or on the right.
Right. And like I never understood to the argument with people like, and this is true that the extremists on the left are 100% guilty of being like, well, you have to have the same opinions as me or else you're like, or else you're Hitler. I'm not like that. We had a debate with Ryan where about like the such thing, but also about the cloning thing, where you and I were on the same page, and Chris ended up being on the same page as us at the end, and Ryan like sort of did, but I don't need consistency. I don't need the same opinions as me. I need consistency out of people with their ideas. So Ryan is somebody who I disagree with a lot, and he doesn't care about consistency, but he tends to be fairly consistent with his ideas tend to be fairly consistent within themselves. I don't necessarily need the same opinions. Alex and I have disagreements about the shit all the time, and just because I don't agree with something also doesn't mean that I have an issue with it. For example, one of the first things, the closest thing we've ever had to a fight was about like the multiple gender issue, right? Because like realistically, I don't think that's a real thing. However, my philosophy of you can do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt anybody means I don't really care. Like, do I really believe that there's more than two genders? I really don't. I personally don't. I think it tends to be like I think gender dysmorphia is legit, and I think that people having gender identity issues and wanting surgery or whatever is like, yeah, if you're like transgender, like, yeah, okay, I'll give you, I'm not going to start calling you he because you're she, but like when you start throwing in like third, fourth, and fifth like genders, I don't really think that's real. But if you want people to call you that and that makes you more comfortable, like fucking go ahead, I don't care. Like, so I don't think it's real, but like I don't have an issue with people, thinking that or whatever, right? Whereas, at first, because she'd had so many arguments where people either had completely agreed with her and thought it was like, they were super on board and that was like definitely a real thing, or they were like monsters who wanted to take that away from people. And she got really upset for a little bit because she thought that I was the latter, right? Which I can't really blame her for. Like, of course she did, because that's up until that point she has had only arguments where people thought that, and I was like, no, like I don't care if people want to call them that. Like, I'll call them their thing or whatever. But like if somebody's like, do you think that's a real thing? I'd be like, fucking nah. But like whatever, it doesn't hurt people. And then but then I keep the consistency there when somebody's like, well, I think that my baby has to identify as this weird 15th gender. I'm like, you're not doing that to a kid. Fuck off. If the kid comes out and says it themselves, like, that's a different debate to have. And I think that there was a show that she used to watch about a girl who was born as a boy, and she identified as a man, as a woman. I'm sorry, she was born a boy, really early on, at a really incredibly young age. And her parents ended up supporting her and giving her like the gender, hormone changes. She hasn't had gender reassignment surgery yet because doctors aren't going to do that when you're a kid, because it's like we're going to really fuck you up. Like if we give you a child dick now, it's not going to turn into stuff off now. It's you're not going to have adult parts later. So it's like, all right, like I'll keep those now and then fix them later. Like like for medical reasons, the doctor's like, we're not doing that yet. And her parents were like totally supportive, and like they call her a woman. She has the hormones of a woman. She's like experiencing female puberty because she's like 13 or something. And it's like, I can see both sides of the argument. Like, what do you do as the parent? Do you like support your child like whatever they want? Like, because sometimes kids are fickle and they change their minds. Or do you say like, okay, like if you're just like, well, I'm gonna disown you, like obviously you're a terrible parent. But if you're saying things like, all right, I'm gonna make you wait until you're an adult to make this decision, like which one of those is the right answer, right? Because like that's one of those things where like that's a hard fucking decision to be made, like to be put in as a parent, right?
Yeah, well, and it is, and I mean, especially because there is always the possibility that they don't know, like they might know quite well at that moment, but is it? I mean, how likely is it that they're going to stick with that for the rest of their life? I don't know any stats on it, so
No, exactly. It's fucking fascinating. But like that was one of those things. Where, like if you can make the argument in either direction, like that is consistent with itself, I will have zero issues because, like that's pretty tough territory to be in.
Yeah.
Anyways,
no, actually-
we've been going for 45 minutes, so we should probably call this an episode.
Yeah, sounds.
Yeah. This was the monologue episode. Thank you everyone for joining us on this episode of From Ord to Orbit.
The
Catch you-
Pajodcast edition, anyways.
Yeah. Catch you motherfuckers next time.